If you're using the online course platform Podia, in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to take the default sales page for your course that Podia generates, which looks like this, and it doesn't have any sales copy or any proven elements to help you effectively sell your course. So your audience members don't know why your course is beneficial to them, why they should buy your course over other courses on the same topic, and where they don't see testimonials from your past students who've gotten great results from your course. So it's really only a starting point for building your sales page for your course. And in this video, I add all these elements and I add them in the right order to build a much more compelling and effective sales page for convincing your audience members to want to buy your course. Now, keep watching this video till the end, because throughout this video, I'm going to be showing you how to write effective sales copy for your sales page. So if you're someone who's uncomfortable with selling and you cringe at the thought of selling, this will be especially helpful for you. Now also, keep watching to the end because I'm going to give you a free download. This is the annotated version of the final customized sales page that I built in this video. It's not even in the video itself. After I finished the video, I annotated the sales page with information that will help you when you're ready to write the sales page for your course. Now, if we haven't met before, I'm Kevin Chang from Do Your Dream Work, and I'm all about helping you overcome the tech challenges in creating and selling your online course, and also helping you implement the tech aspects of proven strategies for marketing your course. Now, if you're excited about the topic of this video, please give this video a like so that others who are interested can find this video as well. All right then, let's dive in. I'm on my Podia dashboard page right now, and to get to where you can edit your course's sales page, you want to first click Products on the top menu here. Now this will show you all of your products, including all of the courses you've created on Podia. And to the far right of each product, all the way to the right, is going to be a 3 dots button. And so you just want to go to the course that you want to edit the sales page for. And in my case, it's this last one here. And you just want to click 3 dots. And on the pop-up menu, hit Edit Page. And that brings you to the Podia page editor with your course's sales page already loaded on here. Now, these are the only 2 page sections that are on this default sales page that Podia automatically generates whenever you create a course. And all of this is just basic information that you entered while you build out the course structure of your course on Podia. So your course's title, pricing, description about your course, and the image associated with your course. And the only other piece of information on here is your course curriculum, which are the sections and lessons that you've built. Alright, so this course that I have here on the sales page, and as you can see, the title of the course is No Hunger Weight Management. So it's a weight loss program. Now this is a hypothetical example program that I came up with for the purpose of this tutorial. And what the course does is it helps participants lose weight successfully, but in the process of losing the weight, they don't have to go hungry as they do on just about every other weight loss program out there. And this is a unique advantage of this program over other similar programs. Now, as you probably guessed when I said this is a hypothetical example program, please don't read into the substance of the program. I don't know if someone can lose weight successfully and keep it off without going hungry. I don't know if that's possible, but I wanted to give this program a unique advantage so that as I'm going through this tutorial showing you how to add sales copy and other marketing elements, I can show you how to use these elements strategically to promote any unique advantage that your course might have. So alright then, I said I'm going to show you step by step how to add page sections with these sales elements to make an effective sales page on Podia for your course. Alright, so step 1 of adding these sales elements is identify the transformation that your course will enable your audience members to make. Now, this transformation is going to take your audience members from a before state to an after state. And the before state is where they're miserable, they're frustrated as it relates to the topic of your course. And through this transformation, it's going to take them to an after state in which they're happy, they've achieved their goal, they've solved their problem. Now, this is pretty straightforward what the transformation is, but I'll give you a few examples right here to clarify in case there's any doubts about this. All right, in this graphic here, the bright blue in the center, that's your course, and that's going to take your audience members from their before state on the left to their after state on the right. And the words in red on the top, that's your course. So in this example, if your course is Yoga for Back Pain program, this course is going to take your audience members from a before state of having failed to successfully treat their back pain through previous programs or previous attempts, and now the back pain has become chronic, to their after state, which is back pain gone. All right, pretty straightforward. Next example, if your course is Learn Video Editing the Fun Way with Hollywood Movie Effects, and this is a title that came up for this course is going to take audience members from having failed to learn video editing through other courses to finally having learned video editing and getting more proficient all the time and having loads of fun along the way because they're creating these Hollywood movie effects. All right, last example. This is the example course that I have on the course sales page I showed earlier. And this is the course I'm going to be adding sales copy and page sections to. No Hunger Weight Management Program. This course is going to take my audience members in this example from having failed to lose weight or they lost weight but gained it back to their after state of achieved weight loss and kept weight off. Now, as you can see, it's simple and straightforward what the transformation and the before and after state is, but do be sure to be clear on the description of the before and after states for your course, because you're going to want to use the before and after states in your sales copy on your course's sales page. And I'll show you exactly how to do that in just a second. All right, moving on to step 2, which is identify the differentiating factor your course has over other courses on the same topic. Now, this differentiating factor is just a fancy way of saying it's a unique advantage that sets your course apart from other similar courses. Now, the important reason you want to be sure to identify the differentiating factor that your course has over other courses is that you're going to be using your differentiating factor in your sales copy. And again, I'm going to be showing you exactly how very shortly. Again, a few examples will clarify exactly what the differentiating factor is, and it can help you determine what your course's differentiating factor could be. So for the Yoga for Back Pain program, differentiating factor is that it addresses the underlying cause of back pain. Since this program is a set of yoga routines, so it strengthens a person's core abdominal muscles and takes the stress off of their back muscles. So this addresses the underlying cause and relieves back pain for good, instead of applying band-aid solutions like prescription pain meds or just doing massage therapy, for example. All right, for the Learn Video Editing course, now video editing can be pretty tedious because you're just editing out mistakes most of the time. And believe me, I know, because I've edited out plenty of mistakes in my time editing my own videos. So now this course is different because it actually makes learning fun by teaching how to make the special effects you see in movies. So this is a course that I'll be willing to take. Now, for the No Hunger Weight Loss program, which is the program we're going to work on its sales page in this video, as the name of the program suggests, this is going to allow my audience members to be able to achieve sustained weight loss without having to go hungry like in other countless programs. So the differentiating factor, in short, is a unique advantage that your course has that makes your course especially attractive to your audience members over other course options they might also be looking at. All right, let's put together now what you did in steps 1 and 2 in step 3 here. We're going to start writing sales copy on the sales page. And the first sentence of your sales copy, you're going to remind your audience of 1, where they are now in their frustrated, miserable before state, and 2, they're there because they haven't experienced the differentiating factor in your course in everything they've tried so far up to this point in time. All right, now all of this is going to be abundantly clear in a second. So the sales argument that you want to make on your sales page to your audience is this: you didn't succeed in solving your problem or in achieving your goal before because in every method you tried, the method didn't have the differentiating factor. And then you're going to follow up with, well, that's why you're going to succeed with my course because it has the differentiating factor. So that's the simple counter argument that you make. That makes it obvious logically that they'll succeed with your course where they failed before with other methods. All right, I'm going to run through doing step 3 with the 3 example courses we've been using, and you see exactly how this works in action. All right, for the Yoga for Back Pain program, the differentiating factor was addresses underlying cause of back pain instead of applying Band-Aid solutions. Now, one common and good way of reminding your audience of their pain point, of their frustrating before state, is to ask a question. So here's what I use here. Tired of ineffective treatments for your back that don't target the root cause of your back pain? And so this is implying that in everything that they've tried so far in trying to relieve their back pain, all the methods did not include anything that addresses the root cause of their back pain, which is their weakened abdominal muscles. And so you're going to be following up later on by saying that your program does address the root cause of their back pain. And that's why they'll be able to get rid of their back pain successfully and for good. All right, for the video editing program, the differentiating factor is that this course makes the often tedious, repetitious editing process fun. And so this means that whatever my audience tried before, it didn't have this fun factor. So I write here, tired of the same tedious repetition in most video editing courses that make them too hard to stay engaged in. And what's inferred here is that if it's too hard to stay engaged in, they didn't finish it, and so they didn't learn video editing. And then I'll follow up by saying that my course makes learning video editing fun by making you work on some of the special effects you see in movies. And you have so much fun that you stay until you finish the course, and along the way, you actually learn video editing. All right, then. For the No Hunger Weight Management program, the weight loss program, the differentiating factor in this program is that my audience members don't have to go hungry like in countless other programs. And so the implication is that because they had to go hungry in all the approaches they've tried so far, it's really hard to stay that way. And so they gave up and didn't achieve weight loss. And again, this allows me to come back in the next step and say that because you don't have to go hungry in this program, you're not going to give up, and so you're going to successfully achieve weight loss. All right, I think you see how this works. And now it's time to actually put this sales copy on our sales page on Podia. All right, we're back on the Podia site builder with our No Hunger Weight Management program sales page. Now to put that sales copy on here, you want to notice that as I scroll down this page, in between any 2 rectangular page sections is a plus symbol. And as you guessed it, the plus symbol allows us to add new page sections in here. Now, the banner section here, the one on top of the page with the course's title, the pricing, and the image associated with the course. So with all of this basic information, this banner section should always be on top of the page. So you're going to want to add new page sections below the banner section. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit the plus symbol right below the banner image. Now a left sidebar appears, and this is where you're going to choose what kind of section you want to add. Now, as I scroll down here, all right, I can add a text section and I can add an image section. I'm going to add an image section. I'll tell you why in a second. Now, this is sales copy, so I could also have added a text section. Now, below the banner immediately, this is a real-time update site builder. So you're going to see changes you make reflected in the sales page, on the sales page, as you do it in real time. So now the image section has been added right here. Now, one of the configurations I can have for this image section is to have text and image side by side, and that's what I'm going to do here. Now, the text is that question, tired of going hungry while others around you eat, that I came up with earlier. And this again is to remind my audience members of their misery in their before state. And I'm going to pair that text with an image of a person in misery. So I want to paint this picture of their misery in their before state as vividly as possible. Because when their misery is top of mind, that's when my audience members will want to do something about it, like buy my program. All right, now, so all the editing that you're going to do to customize a given page section, that's all going to be done within this left sidebar area here. Now, since these sets of controls here you see on the left sidebar are going to be in every page section that you're going to add. So let me give you a quick tour of the editing settings here. So I'm going to zoom in here so you can see better. It's all right. I've zoomed in quite a bit here. So the left sidebar actually now takes up the whole left half of the screen here. And the right half of the screen is the image section on the sales page, also blown up pretty big. Now, on the left sidebar, it says image because we are editing image section. And then below that, 2 tabs, content and design. Now, under the content tab is where you can add different types of content you want to put on this section. Now, as you can imagine, content includes text, images, videos, and the like. And so as I scroll down here, this is where you can add the image for this section. And below that, you can add the title text. And that is the biggest font size text you're going to put in this section. And where you see the word image, this is the title, as I mentioned. And I'm going to put that question I came up with earlier. I'm going to actually put that text here. I'm going to enter in just the first couple of words. I'm not going to enter all of it. I just want you to see how this looks as it real-time updates on the right side. All right, I'm going to stop here. So that's how that looks. And then below that is the paragraph text in smaller font size. And that's the lorem ipsum text that you see here. Now, below, if you want to add buttons, you can also enter in here the button label text. And you also want to enter the URL of the page that your visitors will be directed to when they click on the button. And you can also enter in button subtext here. So I'm going to scroll back up here and actually add the image for this section now. Now, as I said before, I want to add an image of someone who looks like they're miserable because they have to go hungry while others around them eat. Now, in Podia, you can add an image 2 different ways. You can choose image, which is when you're uploading an image from your computer, or you can search images, which is where you're searching the Unsplash site, which is a site that provides royalty-free images. And royalty-free, as you know, means that once you find an image that you like, you can go ahead and use it. So I'm going to go into the image database to get this one image that I know fits the bill because I've selected it before. So I'm going to go into search images. Specifically, I'm going to search under headache. All right. And this is the image. Select that. Now, I'm not looking for specifically someone who's having a headache in this photo, but she looks to me like someone who's miserable. All right, now I'm going to scroll back up. And now I'm going to get into the design tab. And this is where you can adjust and customize the look of the content items that you've just added to any given section, and also how the overall section looks, including the background color, etc. So for the image on the right side, here are the ways I can customize it. I can set the aspect ratio. These are the different settings for that. I'm going to go back to the default aspect ratio. Then I can have rounded corners for my image, and I can control how rounded I want the corners to be. And these are just the selections. This is no rounding, slight rounding, and I can increase how rounded the corners look. As you can see, this is pretty rounded. And then I can also have it look like this, like an arch shape. I'm going to go back to slightly rounded. And then below, the width, this is a slider that essentially you can control how big this image looks within the section. And as you slide it to the right, to the left, you're just controlling how big the image is. Now below that, layout. Now an image section can contain an image and then text. And I said before, I wanted the image and the text side by side with the image on the left. And that's by default what's selected here on the layout. The other options I have are text on the left side, the image on top aligned left, the image on top aligned center, and text on top. And by the way, you can hover over any of these icons and you see a pop-up text telling you what that setting is. So if you ever have any doubts. Now below the layout is appearance, and first up is style, and this controls the style of the image and text within any given section. And then below that, colors. Now colors, as you can imagine, has a big influence on how the overall section looks. Now the first 4 color settings, they're color presets, and the first 3 are actually similar. They are dark text on light background. Now the 4th one is called dark theme, and it's really cool because with one click you invert the colors. So it's light text on dark background. And let me show you how that looks. So here's our image section, and this is the text part of it. And with one click I can just invert that into dark theme. Now if none of the color presets work for you, then you can choose custom color. Now the last setting under the design tab is background image. So you can add a background image to the section, and this has an interesting effect on the look of the section. It changes how the section looks more than you think. Now I'm going to use a background image in a couple of the sections I'm going to add here, so you see how this looks shortly. Alright, so what I've shown you just now in the left sidebar are the editing options for the Podia site builder. And for any section that you add here on your sales page, you're going to get the same 2 tabs, content and design, and a very similar set of settings. Alright, now I'm going to zoom back out and finish customizing the rest of this section. Alright, this is the image section that we're working on, and this is the image that I just added. I'm going to finish working on the rest of the text in this section. I'm going to first finish typing in the question that again reminds my audience of how miserable they are in their before state, tired of going hungry while others around you eat, and to bring up the sidebar where you do the editing when it's closed. Just click anywhere on the section you want to edit, and the sidebar for editing that section to your left will show. So just click anywhere on here. Now I'm going to go in and edit the title, finish typing in this question, and again this is the title text. Alright, I'm actually going to go further in describing the before state, add another sentence here, and that's going to be paragraph text below the title. First, get rid of this lorem ipsum text. Alright, I typed sick of feeling guilty just because you were so starved that you ate just a little bit more. So I kept on going in reminding them how miserable they feel. I kind of rubbed salt into their wounds. Now some of you might think I'm mean-spirited. I plead innocent on that. This is how you gotta write sales copy, my friends. Because if their pain and misery is not vivid enough in their minds while they're reading this, they're not gonna feel compelled to take action. and you want them to take action right now without going away and thinking about it if you can. Right now we're finished with step 3. We're going to move on to step 4. Now I said before that you're going to let them know that there's a happy after state waiting for them, and that your course is going to be the vehicle that takes them to their happy after state. So step 4 here is when you transition to letting them know about the solution for them, your course. Now, the way you do that, you want to first express empathy with your audience. You want to say, I know how miserable you are. I get your misery. And then you're going to follow up by saying, because I know how miserable you are, and I don't want you to feel this way, I took the initiative to come up with the right solution for you. Now, when you are expressing empathy with your audience here, if you've been in their shoes, this is the time to let them know. Just say, I went through this myself, so I know exactly how you feel. Now, if you didn't go through this yourself, that's perfectly okay. Just let them know that you empathize with them. In any case, this allows you to transition into your course. All right, let's go and write this text in. All right, we're back here in the same section. Now, at the paragraph text here, I'm just going to type a line break and type in my transition. All right, I typed in, friend, I know how frustrating and demoralizing that is, and that's why I carefully developed this program to approach weight loss from a uniquely different angle. Now, this looks like there's a lot of space above and below the image here because I typed in this extra text. This is just because the editing sidebar is open. So if we close the editing sidebar, the spaces collapse and it looks pretty good. All right, now let's move on to step 5 and add a new section here right below this section. All right, step 5. It's time to tell your audience about your course as the solution to their problem or as a vehicle to help them achieve their goal. Now, when you tell your audience about your course, you also want to say what the differentiating factor of your course is. Ideally, you want to say both of those in the same sentence. So in the case of the example program, the Yoga for Back Pain program I mentioned earlier, you say something like, I put together a program that tackles your back pain at its root by strengthening your core muscles, taking the stress off your back, and allowing your back muscles to heal. And your audience members, upon hearing that or reading that, their reaction should be, oh wow, this is cool. This is finally a program that doesn't just apply a band-aid to my problem. It's not more painkiller meds that's only going to temporarily help me with my pain, but this can make my pain go away for good. All right, great. This sounds like the solution that will finally work. And similarly with this no hunger weight management program, I'm going to say I put together a program that allows you to lose weight without having to go hungry. And similarly, my audience members should have the reaction that, oh wow, this is a program that can finally work for me because I've had to quit previous programs because I had to go hungry and it was just too hard. And then you want to state the key benefits to them. And this is essentially describing their happy after state. So you're saying to them, imagine a much brighter future when you're able to solve your problem or when you're able to achieve your goal. And in the case of the no hunger weight management program, it's really straightforward. And the key benefits here are you don't have to be starved. You no longer have to worry about watching how much you eat, within reason, of course. And you can finally feel free to gather with family and friends over meals. Now, as you can see, when it comes to the key benefits, you want to pick one or two that comes directly out of your differentiating factor. So all right then, let's go and implement step 5 on the sales page. All right, let's go ahead and add a section underneath the section we just finished working on, plus symbol. And this I'm going to choose a text section because I want the focus to be on the words. And here's the text section. And I'm going to go ahead and enter in the text that I just said. All right, there's some default paragraph text. I'm going to remove that. Then I'm going to tweak the design a little bit under the design tab. And I'm going to choose the card style. Now, what's good about the card style is that it keeps the focus on the text. So whatever other design tweaks I put here is only going to affect the background area in this section beyond the border of the card. And you see what I mean here, because I'm going to change the color of the background in this section. So currently it's a white background. I'm going to choose something that's bluish, light blue, or maybe medium blue. All right, something like that. As you can see, the area where the text is on the card is unchanged. In this way, the text can still stand out really well, and you can still add some styling to the background. Right now, the text is aligned left. I'm going to align it center. And I'm also going to add a background image to add some interesting texture to the background section. I'm just going to search for an image in the Unsplash database. Just typed in classroom. Now choose this one here. Now I'm going to go back to the background. I think I'll just make this blue slightly darker. All right, something like that. All right, that's how that looks. Now, as you can see, it says introducing no hunger weight management, an effective weight loss program that doesn't require you to suffer in hunger. Now, that's the statement of my course as the solution. And I'm now going to name the benefits that come out of that in the next section. So I'm going to add the next section below this one, plus symbol again. And this time I do want an image. So I'm going to pick the image, which allows you to, again, have your image and text be side by side. All right, I'm going to search the Unsplash database again for this image. I'm going to search under family eating. I'll choose this one. All right, since they can freely eat again with family and friends without having to worry about how much they eat or watch their calories really strictly, that's one of the key benefits come out of this program. So I want to add this image of a family eating together. Now, since the section here has the image on the left, here I want to have the text on the left, image on the right. All right, then it's just typing in on the left sidebar here, the text about the key benefits. All right, and enter no more starving yourself, and feel free to gather with family and friends around meals. And again, there's some default lorem gypsum paragraph text. I'm going to remove that. All right, close the sidebar. All right, that's how that looks. All right, so we finished with step 5. This is the statement of my course as a solution to that problem. And here are the benefits of not having to go hungry on this program with the image to match that. All right, let's move on to the next step. All right, step 6, highlight your course's differentiating factor. Now, there are a couple of scenarios here. Now, one, if your differentiating factor is something that some of your audience members can potentially develop some skepticism about, you want to address that skepticism head on, and you want to establish total credibility around your differentiating factor. Now, the No Hunger weight loss program is a perfect example of that. A member of my audience can be a little skeptical and say, "Hey, Kevin, wait a minute. I've never come across a weight loss program where you don't have to go hungry. That sounds too good to be true. How are you able to have me not go hungry if I go on your program?" Now, so here in this step, this is where I would address this skepticism head on so that this doesn't become a buyer objection later on. Now, toward the beginning of this video, I had already mentioned, and I'll mention here again, this No Hunger weight loss program is a purely hypothetical example course that I made up for the purpose of this tutorial. And so the reason I chose this as the differentiating factor is so that I can illustrate how to write sales copy to market a program like this based on a clear differentiating factor, a clear unique advantage. And actually, another reason I did this is to encourage you, if you're still in the idea stage of creating your course, if you haven't invested any time in creating your course yet, or at least not much time yet, to design your course with the marketing in mind. What differentiating factor, what unique advantage can your course bring to the table over other courses on the same topic? Because having a differentiating factor, having a unique advantage, makes the marketing easier and makes your course more compelling to your audience. All right, now back to implementing step 6. Now, before we go back to our sales page, if you're in the second category here, where the unique advantage that your course has isn't something that your audience is going to have any doubts about, then all you do at this step is just state how having this unique advantage makes your course the better choice for your audience. So either way, at this step, you're going to highlight your course's differentiating factor, your unique advantage. All right, now let's head back to the sales page. All right, so I'm going to add a new section below the last one, and I'm going to choose a text section this time. All right, I have what I wanted to say prepared here, so I'm going to enter it into the title text. All right, so the secret to no hunger weight loss is knowing your body type. So the hypothetical mechanism for enabling this no hunger weight loss in my program, which is again hypothetical, is eating based on your body type. Now the body type concept does exist, but to my knowledge is not used for weight loss. And again, I want to remove the lorem ipsum paragraph text because I'm not going to use that. Actually, I take that back. I do have a sentence I want to add to the paragraph text to elaborate on this. All right, I just put a sentence here to explain more about the body type concept for this purpose. Now, since addressing this potential skepticism and making sure this concept is totally credible is so important, I want to draw attention to this text in the design tab here. All right, and there's a very simple way to do this. And I mentioned about the dark theme. And as you can see, this really is a nice contrast to the other sections that has white background. And then all I want to do is just to center the text in the section. All right, that's all I want to do for this section. So let's move on to the next step. All right, step 7, list and or showcase key features of your course. Now, up to this point on your sales page, we've been talking mostly about the differentiating factor of your course, that unique advantage that only your course has, that no other course on the same topic has, at least to your knowledge. And we've been doing that intentionally because that's a feature, the differentiating factor, that no other course can really compete with you on. But that doesn't mean that your course doesn't have other key features that would be compelling to your audience if only they knew about it. Well, in this step, step 7, is where you let your audience know about these other strong key features of your course. If you offer one-on-one coaching, if you offer office hours, if you have a community in your course where past and current students share information and support one another, and where they can ask you questions and you can answer them and give their questions more priority because they're a student, or if you can offer them group discounts on items that are useful to them as students, this step is where you let your audience know about those features. All right, hit the plus symbol again, and this time I want a grid section, and a grid section is just a collection of the image sections where you can have an image side by side with text. So here it is, and by default there are 3 items in the grid, and as usual you can edit each item in turn in the left sidebar. So let's go and edit the first one. I'm going to get the image first for each item, and I already know the image that I want in the Unsplash image database, so I'm just going to search into it and get it. Under teacher, this is the image I want. And I'm just going to get all the images for each item first, because I know the ones I want. Under vegetable, I want this image. Then the third item together, and I want this image. Now actually I want to add a new item for fourth key feature. Search for vitamin, and here's the image that I want. Next, I want to tweak the layout. As I mentioned, I want the image and text side by side. Now by default, there are images on top for each item right now. So I want side by side. And actually I want to alternate where image left on the first item, and then next item it's going to be the text to the left, image on the right. So I want a kind of an alternating pattern, and they do have this convenient option right here, and there it is, alternating left to right. Then all that's left is just to add in the text for these items. So I have the text for each of the key features prepared, so I'm just going to add them in. All right, the texts have been all entered. And I just want to tweak the design to add a card style to each item in the collection. All right. And I'm going to add the main text for the grid in a second. While I'm here in the design tab, I'm going to add a background color. And as I said, since I'm using cards for these key features, the background color will only affect the background and not the text on each of the cards. All right. Adjust the background color slightly. Alright, so here are the key features that I've added. Now this program already has a track record, so I'm saying here are the key ingredients that have made this program so successful. One-on-one expert consultation to determine your body type. Again, each of these with matching images. Food list and nutrition guidance. They have a picture of veggies and plants. Community of past and current participants. Get friendly support and encouragement from an amazing group of people who have walked in your shoes. Nutritional supplements. Will recommend a nutritional supplement regimen, etc. Alright, at any time while you're editing this sales page, you can actually publish it to see what it looks like as a regular web page by just hitting publish here in the top right corner of this page. Now, we're looking at this in the Podia site builder. And you see these plus symbols. If you want to at any point look at this as a regular web page, then you want to hit publish, and let's do that right now. All right, when it's done, it will say view site. Click on that. All right, so this is our sales page that we've customized so far. And this is the last section that we've added. And again, you can publish to view this as a regular web page anytime while you're editing it. All right, let's move on to the next step. Now, step 8, proof. Now, what's been said on your sales page so far has been said by you. Now, you're telling the truth, but you're a biased party because it is your course. So what's going to pack the most powerful punch for your audience members who've been reading up to this point on your sales page so far is for them to see testimonials from students, people who've gone through your course and have gotten the results that they want to get, say about your course, their experience going through your course, and most importantly, what results they got. So now we know the importance of testimonials. Now there is another form of proof in the form of numbers or metrics. And what I mean here is, for example, the number of students you've enrolled since your course opened, and metrics like if your students' progress or the results they've gotten can have a numerical representation. For instance, my students got 90% improvement in this metric. So this obviously varies or depends on the topic of your course. If you can get a numbers or metrics proof on your sales page, that's great, but your testimonials are the most important. So focus on that, and if you can get numbers or metrics, that's great to put on there as well. All right, I got some testimonials that I can add to our sales page, and also a number of students proof that I'm going to add as well. So let's go back to our sales page. All right, I'm going to first add the number of students enrolled proof, and then I'll add the testimonials section. So first, I'm going to add a text section. All right, I've used this program to help 200 plus participants successfully lose weight and keep it off without having to go hungry. And in the next section, I'm going to say, here's what some of them have to say. All right, so for this section here, all I'm going to do is just tweak the design of it and go to the design tab. And I want the card layout. Also want to center the text and then just add a background color. This time I'm going to make this a shade of green. All right, something like that. You can always tweak this later. Then I want to add a background image to give a certain texture to this. All right, and as I've mentioned earlier in the video, the background image works nicely with the background color because the image has a certain level of opacity. It's somewhat transparent, so the color and the background image blend nicely and give you this interesting texture effect for the background, and that's what this looks like. All right, I'm going to add the testimonials section now, and that's going to be on the left sidebar under collection. It says testimonials. Now, because testimonials is such a common standard element on the sales page, Podia has a specific design for it, and you have 4 different options of how you want the layout to look, and you just choose the one you like best. And this is by default how it's displayed, but the other 3 ways you can display it is testimonials where the photo is smaller on the left and at the bottom, and I'm going to choose this one. This is the layout that's the default one, and what I'm going to do is add one more testimonial to make it look balanced when we display it. Right now it is going to display like this, so there's a space for an additional testimonial. And just like with the grid items, this is going to be an item that you can just click onto each testimonial and edit. And I'm going to leave the default demo lorem ipsum text in place because you get the idea. This is already in the form of a testimonial. And if I close the sidebar, I can see how it would look on the page. All right, and there's your testimonial. And all I want to do is just edit the text on top of the testimonials. Here's what past participants have to say. I'm going to leave the background color unchanged because it's a nice contrast with what came before. So there's our testimonials section, and let's go on to the next step. All right, now that you've told your audience members the unique advantage your course has over other courses, other useful key features, and presented testimonials from your past students singing your praises and saying they got great results, Now you've brought your audience members' interest in your course to a fever pitch, and now is the time to give them the buy button. This is a call to action that you're going to put there. It's not just the buy button. There's some text copy there, and it should be inspirational and gently inviting your audience members to go ahead and make the purchase. You're essentially asking your audience members to imagine being liberated from the misery and frustrations in their before state, and now they are happy in their happy after state. You could also tie in some social proof saying that join hundreds of others who have gone through this program and are now happy, for example, and you could be too. All right, here we go. This is going to be a text section with a button for the buy button, of course. All right. Now we've added a text section a couple of times on the sales page, but we've not added a button, so we can do that here. And first, I'm going to enter in some title text to encourage my audience to go ahead and make the purchase. And also, I'm going to enter the price of the course. Because unlike in the banner section at the top, in other sections, the price is not automatically pulled into that section. So be sure wherever you're going to put your buy button to also put the price next to or above the buy button. So first, the title text. Join hundreds of happy participants and enjoy successful weight loss without going hungry. Then I'm going to put the price of the course in the paragraph text. All right, I want to bold this as well. All right. Now let's center this. And now let's add our button. Now, there are two buttons you can add in this section, and we only need one. First, I'm going to enter in the button label text. All right, notice that if I just enter the button label text, at that point, the button is not showing yet. And that's because in order for the button to show, you need to enter in the URL of the page that your audience is going to be directed to when they click on the button. And in this case, it's going to direct them to the checkout page. Now, where you're going to get the URL of the checkout page is you want to hit done here, top right of the page, to get out of the sales page. Hit products to get to a list of your courses. And next to the course, you want to get the checkout page URL to, the three dots button again. And instead of edit page to get to your course's sales page, right below that there's a share course, and that's going to be the URL of the checkout page. So you just want to hit copy on that one, and it'll give you a prompt saying that it's copied. Then let's go back to the sales page by hitting edit page. And back down to our call to action section and the button, and we can paste that URL in. And there it is. So you need to paste the URL into the URL field in order for the button to show. And that makes perfect sense because the button always directs your visitor to another page. So you'd always want to give it the URL of that page. All right, for the button text, I have, yes, I want to lose weight without going hungry. And now what I want to do to style this section is that I want to put the focus on this text. And I also want to see if I can get the background color to look like the buy button's background color, that green color. It's all right. And again, I like to get the cart style and background. All right, something like that. I think that matches it pretty well. All right, so that's our section with the call to action and the buy button. Now you might be wondering why you're going to put a buy button here when there's a buy button already at the top banner section of this page. And that's because all along, as your audience members reading down your sales page, you're telling them why they should buy your course, addressing their buyer objections, and reassuring them that going ahead and enrolling in your course, going through your course, is the right thing to do. And these sections I've added have been shown to be effective on sales pages. So at some point you've done that, you've reassured them, and they are ready to buy. And when your audience members are ready to buy, you don't want them to have to scroll back up and look for the buy button. You want this last step of just clicking on the buy button to be as low friction as possible, as easy as possible. So at points on your sales page where you think your audience members could be convinced to make the purchase right there, and right after the testimonial section is a good spot. And don't be afraid to, especially if you have a longer sales page for a higher ticket course, to distribute the buy button multiple times up and down the page. Alright, now some of your audience members are likely to click through this buy button here and purchase. Now some would not have. In that case, they're going to read on to the curriculum. And this is yet another chance to reassure those audience members that this is the right course for them. They're able to see the exact course details here. Now I'm not going to style this section just to have a pretty good contrast with the previous section here. The only thing I'm going to do is just to replace the word curriculum with program details. Alright, step-by-step program details. Alright, now that some portion of your audience members are going to be convinced here after reading your curriculum and they'll be ready to buy, you want to give those audience members the buy button at this point, right below the section. And so I'm going to put another text section, same as above, with the buy button. You might consider switching up the call to action text a little bit, but otherwise it's the same exact buy button section as above, with just a slightly different look in the background. Alright, if they didn't click through and buy in the last section, chances are very good that they want to buy, but they just have one last thing they want to know, one last concern in their minds they want to satisfy. And so you want to address those last minute things with an FAQ section. And again, this will address things like, what's your refund policy? Any conditions to that refund policy? How long are they going to have access to your course? Is the course suitable for beginners, etc.? And so then, let's go and put this on our sales page. Alright, it's very simple to put an FAQ section on your sales page. It's one of those common standard elements on a sales page. So Podia has a specific design for that. And all we have to do is plus symbol, and in the collections section there is FAQs. So it's all right here. Now I'm not going to edit these questions and answers. Again, you get the idea of what they are, and when you go and edit, it's like editing any collection of items. You edit each question one by one, question 1, 2, and 3, and you enter in the answer as well, of course. And as you can imagine, these plus signs to the right of each question, when they click that, the answer will appear below the question. Alright, then again, I don't want to change the styling because I would like the contrast of the FAQ section with the buy button section before it. And all I'm going to do is just apply a card style so that each question has its own card, like that. And also you can add more questions if you like. Alright then, once their last minute buyer objections are addressed via this FAQ section, you want to give them the buy button one more time. So I'm going to put yet another buy button section here. Now we've done this before, so I'm not going to show the process. I'm just going to put one here. Alright, this is the exact one that I have above the FAQ section. And that is the final section I wanted to add. Now let's hit publish in the top right corner one more time and take a look at the entire customized sales page. All right, the publishing process can take a little time, but once it's done, it's going to say View Site, and just click on it. All right, there's your banner section at the top, showing basic information about your course. Then here's reminding your audience members of their misery and frustration in their before state, then transitioning into offering your course as the solution to their problems that'll bring them to their happy after state, and the benefits that come out of being in their happy after state. Then here you're focusing on the unique advantage of your course. You're addressing any doubts that the unique advantage, the differentiating factor of your course is for real, and establishing credibility around your differentiating factor. Then here's showing that your course is well-rounded because it has these other key features one by one. Then our proof sections. First, your track record proof, number of students enrolled, and then social proof in the form of testimonials. And then at this point, their interest should be red hot, so give them the buy button. And they're still hesitating, let them see the details of your course, exactly what they'll get. Then when they're satisfied, give them the buy button again. And if they still have some last minute questions, there's your frequently asked questions. Then once their last minute objections are satisfied, give them the buy button again. I have an annotated version of the final customized sales page that I put together in this video. Now this is a free download. The download link is in the descriptions below the video. This will be a practical reference template for you when you're ready to write the sales page of your course. Now writing effective sales copy for your sales page is like telling a story that amplifies the emotions of your audience members at each step. Each part of the story sets up the next part in a certain way, and you want to write them in the right order. Now in this free download, the page sections are already in the right order, and I've annotated each section so you know what the purpose of each section is and how it sets up the next one. And again, this will help you write your course sales page. If you want more details, refer back to the video. And if you have any questions about how to write sales copy and how to put together an effective sales page for your course, feel free to ask in the comments below the video or on my website, Do Your Dream Work. All right, that's how to write effective sales copy and build a compelling sales page for your course on Podia. Now, if you found any of this information helpful, be sure to give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications. On this channel, I post videos regularly to help you overcome the tech challenges in creating and selling your online course, and also how to implement the tech aspects of proven course marketing strategies. All right, now I want to turn it over to you. What's your biggest takeaway from this video? Is it that you have to remind your audience of their frustrations and misery before they've purchased your course and gone through your course? Or is it that you should design your course with marketing in mind? You should figure out your differentiating factor, your unique advantage over other courses on the same topic? Or is it any other takeaway? Just let me know in the comments below this video. All right, for more how-to tutorials and tips on navigating the tech aspects in creating and selling your online course, be sure to check out this video I linked to on the screen right here. I'll see you there.